Hi everyone. In this video, we're going to learn about vectors in our programming language. So what is a vector? A vector is nothing but similar to an array in other programming languages. So what is an array? An array is a sequence of collection of the or a sequence or collection of the same data elements. It can be a numeric array, it can be a character array, it can be a string array. So all the data elements will be of the same type. So similarly, vector is also the same in R programming. For example, as you can see on the screen, a vector is nothing but it looks like similar to a stack of elements or a stack of books that we arrange. So here on screen you can see a vector which is blank, and now let's say we'll take a numeric vector. So I'll go and insert the elements 3, 5, 9, 12, 14, 18. So this is a numeric vector. So we'll see another character vector. A character vector, like you should include them in a double quotations. So this is a character vector. So as you can see on screen, though, if we insert the numeric element 7, as I said, like vectors are collection of the data elements of the same data type. This here you can see these are all, this is a vector of the same data type, and here it is a character vector, and though you insert a numeric one, it converts into character. It's difficult to convert a character to a numeric one, but a numeric can be easily converted to a character. So it takes a numeric, if you insert a numeric element into a character vector, it converts into that particular data type. If I give G, so this is example of a character vector. So now we'll go and see how do we create. This is the concept of vector in R. And when we see indexing, indexing is nothing but the position of your data element. In other programming languages, arrays will start indexing from 0. But coming to the vectors in R, the indexing starts with 1. For example, this is 1. The second one is 3. This is 4. This is the fifth element. This is the sixth one. This is the seventh. Oh. So this is the eighth element. So indexing will help us to retrieve that particular element because it gives us the position. Now here at one position you have the element 1, at sixth position you have the element 12. So you can access elements of the vector using indexes. So we'll see indexes also later. So now first we'll go and see how do we create these vectors in R. So I've opened my RStudio. So let's go ahead and create our first vector. As I said, it is a collection of data elements. Let's say this 4, 5. So now my first, I'll give it a name, vector. So now we have a collection of elements separated by comma. So now we need to combine all of this and then put into our vector name. So how do we combine? So to combine the data elements, we have certain functions. In that, the first one we will go and see ahead, which is C. The function itself is C. So if you put in your C function all your data elements, so this is a vector. Let's go and run it. So you can see here, since we have created a new order of numeric type, so here you can see it is of numeric type, and 1 to 4 indicates the length. So we have 4 elements, so that it's showing 1 to 4. We have 4 elements in our first vector. So now let's call my first vector. Let's run. So you can see here, as I ran my first vector one, it gave me the same vector that I've created. Now let's create a character vector. Character vector. Okay. Now we'll insert into this. So I've created my function and I'll insert my data elements, a comma d comma r. Okay, now I'll run this. You can see here I've created a character vector. That is why it is indicating here as character, and it consists of 3 elements, so it is showing 1 to 3. So now I'll call my character vector. So you can see in the console ADR are elements of my character vector. So as I said, you can vectors are consists of data elements of the same data type. So if you try to insert, let's take another vector, different data type elements into another data type elements. If you try to mix them, let's see what it happens. Let's say A, G, and now I'll try to insert the numeric 7 into that, and I'll run it. So the vector is created. Now if we go and see, if we call this vector, you can see here even the numeric 7 is converted into a character. Let's say I'll insert a double into a numeric vector. So I'll go and create, let's say 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4.3. So I've inserted a double into a numeric an integer vector. So let's go and run this. Now I'll call my vector. You can see all are converted into double data type. So in as I've mentioned in my earlier videos, like in R programming, everything will be considered, all numerics will be considered as double by default. So now we have seen how to create vectors. There are another 2 ways to create vectors. One is sequence. This is similar to colon. We'll see this one. And another way to create vectors is replicate. So using these 2 functions also we can create vectors. So we'll see now how to create vectors with this. So the first one is sequence. Sequence, now let's create 1 comma 4. So now I want a sequence of numbers of as a vector. So I'll go and give it a name. Let's go and run this. Now I'll call my vector A. So you can see a sequence of numbers from 1 to 4 are created with the help of sequence function. Now if I run, let's just give 1 to 4 and I'll try to run this. So when I give 1 colon 4, it is also giving me sequence of numbers from 1 to 4. So using sequence function also it is giving the same, and using colon also giving the same. So what is when we already just with the help of colon, when we are able to create sequence numbers, so what is the use of sequence function? So what is that difference that sequence function is created for? See, with the help of sequence function, you can use another parameter which is called step. For example, let's go and create this. I'm going and creating another sequence of numbers. Let's take from 1. It has to start from 1. It has to end at 7. And let's give a step of, this is called step. And let's give step and let's run it. Now I'll call my vector B. So you can see